What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Lions Den with Seth. I'm one of your hosts. Hopefully, everything is going good with you. You're saving yourself, saving some money, and getting ready for the holidays. Hopefully, you ain't breaking your mind and breaking the bank doing something that come around every year. Do something different. You know what I'm talking about? But listen, if this is your first time catching us, make sure you tune in and just say, hey, this is where I'm from. We're enjoying the show or whatever. If you don't like it, whatever, let us know though, right? Give us that feedback because we appreciate it. What's going on? What's going on? Slay, hashtag Slay. That's what's up. What's up? What's up? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? All right, look, y'all dig this. If you haven't done so already, make sure you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook to join the conversation, right? Because it's in. What's going on with Queens? What's going on over there? San Antonio? That's what's up. What's up? All right, y'all, we about to get this ball rolling. Of course, couldn't do this without my crew, without the rest of the Lions. Right on. Yo, what's up, Will? How you feeling, bro?
What's up, big dog? Another Sunday. We back here to have some great conversation, talking about some very important stuff to help people get back refocused and realize that your body is nothing without the mind. So I'll show you how those things go together. So I'm looking forward to the conversation, brother. How you doing?
Man, slow motion, bro. Just trying not to go all the way crazy, but just a little bit. Keep me balanced. You dig what I'm saying? So what's going on, Ronald? Appreciate you tuning in. And another thing too, want to shout out this brother, first time here. Hey, stick around, brother. This is your new home. You understand what I'm saying? This is it. This is what we do. You feel me? Yo, Larry, what's the problem? What's the deal?
Hey man, it's a blessed day, man. Your boy just won a stack on FanDuel, so I'm excited. I'm feeling real good.
What's that? What's that?
It's a betting site for the sports, man. If you into sports stuff, I spent $2 and I won $1,000. So I'm really
you won how much? How much you win?
$1,000.
$1,000. Well, shut your mouth. You know what? Hey man, listen, this is why I keep the right individuals around me, because you do things that I would never do. I work to make money. I can't play to throw it away. But no, bro. Hey, bless you. Right on. Bless you. I appreciate you. Last but not least, Big Herm, what's popping, dog?
Yo, man won $1,000 off a $2
bet, bro.
Oh, for $2.
Swear to God.
Yo, hey, y'all know I'm in Facebook jail, so I can't share with my regular folks or whatnot, but I'm still here. Want to give a shout out to my family, Patrick Young, over there in Kansas City watching.
What it is?
Me, man, I got a new truck.
Oh, yeah?
I got a new truck, man. I got rid of the Chevy, man.
Hey, hold on, wait.
That's cold, man.
Y'all, look, hold on, wait. Before you say something, I'm gonna let the world know. Y'all, when he got this truck, I could feel that it was about to break down in the next 15 minutes. Now, he just loved it. It looked right on. I appreciate the fact that you love the truck. I said, hey, man, you need to go and get a Ram. No, man, no. Boom, he drove off. Hey, man, I should didn't stop in the middle of the road. Did it really? Hey, you need to get. Hey, so needless to say, we didn't have this conversation a few times. What kind of truck you get, huh?
Go ahead and say it with your chest.
Wait, hold on, wait. What you get?
Oh man,
it's a Dodge Ram.
Right on. God bless you. All right. But no, that's good though. But how you like it though, man?
Man, it still don't feel like I guess I gotta wait till the first car payment to come out, then it'll feel like mine.
Yeah.
I'm driving around somebody else's truck for now, but it's cool, bro. You know what I mean?
Hey, but you know what though? Hey, it's better to wait for the next car payment than the next fixer up and
next tow truck coming to get my truck.
Bruh, you know what I'm talking about? Hey, so look, anyway, man, why don't you introduce our guest, man?
Hey, so on this show, we always trying to bring an expert in front of you guys to speak to you from a expert's point of view. So we got a good friend of mine, Dr. Alden Taylor. He's coming on to talk to us about physical fitness and also how that connects to your mental and everything, man. Now, you wouldn't have known when back in the day, seeing how little he was. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, hold on, wait. What you
say? He was gonna grow up and to be this monster, man, and know all about fitness the way that he does, man. Because it's just like snap the finger and He-Man that came out. You know what I mean? So
right on.
I want y'all to give a warm welcome to Dr. Alden Taylor.
Right on. Give it up. Give it up. Yo, hey Doc, check this out. Did you hear what he said? He said, "Hey, look, you would never know how little he was." So, how small were you back in the day, brother?
Listen, man, junior year, right at the beginning of junior year, I was 5'3" and about 110 pounds sopping wet.
Wow.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, man.
So what happened? I mean, you just said the hell with the Wheaties. You was just like, I'm done with that.
We just went to drinking raw eggs.
I grew 6 inches. So yeah, I grew 6 inches my junior year, and then my senior year, I grew an additional 3, and then I grew another 1 inch my freshman year of college. So
Wow.
You know how most people dunk when they're able to dunk, they dunking in high school.
Yeah.
This man started dunking in his mid-20s. Yeah, man.
Wow. Well, listen, brother, look, we want to thank you for being on, man. Welcome to the Lions Den. It's so great to have you here, man. So, look, we want to give you the floor, right? Talk about yourself. Just tell us a little bit about Dr. Taylor.
So, being a former small guy, I definitely had a chip on my shoulder the entire time. So I kind of came at everything like I had something to prove to myself and prove to everybody else. So I really pushed the needle when it came to my profession. So I am a physical therapist. I got my doctor of physical therapy from the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga in 2007. And then I practiced in Nashville, Tennessee for a couple of years before I joined the Air Force. And when I joined the Air Force has offered me some opportunities to get a lot of things done and further my career. So once I got in the Air Force, I practiced in the Air Force for a couple of years, and then I got an opportunity to get another doctorate. So I got a doctor of science, which is a PhD equivalent in orthopedic physical therapy. I also am double board certified in sports physical therapy and orthopedics. I am a certified strength and conditioning specialist. And then I also completed a fellowship in the American Academy of Orthopedic Manual Physical Therapists. So I'm a manual physical therapist by trade. So I fix things with
Damn. Yo, hey, listen, look, shout out to you and all that learning. Listen, the reason why I say that is because when you finished your bio, I saw his name, ladies and gentlemen. I saw his name, boom. And all of a sudden, I seen all these extra letters and commas and everything. I'm like, what is this? All these acronyms. Like, bro, only thing I know was the MD part, and then there was A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Like, yo, but congratulations, man. Look, we do appreciate that. But go ahead, Big Herm.
Hey, so first things first, I want to talk about physical therapy in the military, in the Air Force in particular. And what are the common things that you see when it comes to your patients as far as, they're not doing it? I'm going to give you an example. Me, when I went to physical therapy, I don't know what it was, my hard-headed isms or something, but I just really didn't want to do the program. You know what I mean? They tell me, hey, you don't lift no weights, you just lift these rubber bands for a while. I'm like, I'm going right back to shoulder pressing, man. I ain't about to lift these little rubber bands. And I don't think my shoulder ever really recovered all the way because of that. Can you give some insight into that kind of frame of thinking?
Absolutely. So being in this career field, one of the most important things that we have as providers is a tool called prognostication. So prognostication is the use of research in the past that tells us exactly how far along somebody should be based upon the injury that they have. So if somebody has a shoulder injury or a back injury or a neck injury, we have research that tells us where they should be within 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, a year out, so on and so forth. So if you are supposedly doing what you're supposed to be doing and you're not getting better, either one of two things is happening. Either number one, we have the wrong diagnosis and you actually have something else, or number two, you actually have a concurrent diagnosis that we haven't figured out yet. But if you just flat out haven't been doing what you're supposed to be doing, it shows when you come back for your reassessment.
Okay, that's what's up.
Awesome response, Dr. Taylor. But I want to talk about how PCMs, your primary care doctors in the military, are quick to send you to physical therapy without fully assessing the injury. and they expect you to go through physical therapy thinking that you just have a small issue, but you have a major issue and you could be making it worse. So what is your viewpoint on actually diagnosing the issue, doing the MRIs and not just x-rays to really get to the foundation as to what's wrong and why this patient's in your office?
So I feel like that's a really important thing to discuss, right? Because with the general population, they have a feeling or a sensation that the end all be all is the MRI or the CAT scan or some diagnostic image. What we have is very, very strong evidence that what we have called executive medicine, when patients get access to these images super early, that is actually detrimental to their care. The reason why that is because they start to focus or perseverate on that particular thing that they saw in the imaging. And the reason why that's a bad thing is because we've done studies where we've taken a lot of healthy individuals with no symptoms whatsoever, and we've MRI'd all of them. And what we found is anywhere between 60 to 80+% of those individuals will have some anomalies found within their scans. So what does that mean? That means that just because you see something in an MRI or a CAT scan does not necessarily mean that it's the source of your symptoms. So when we send people to MRIs and CAT scans and things of that nature early, what it can do is it can cause the patient and the provider to become biased and focus on something that may have nothing to do with their care. So when it comes to PCMs forwarding patients to physical therapists early, that's actually a very evidence-based decision. PCMs are not trained to be experts in neuromusculoskeletal care. That's the physical therapist's job. As a matter of fact, we've got a lot of research. Again, I'll be pointing back to a lot of research throughout this, but there's a lot of research that indicates that there's nobody in the medical profession that deals with the neuromusculoskeletal system better than a physical therapist. So that's actually a very, very evidence-based decision to send the patient to the physical therapist. Now, it's also on the physical therapist to understand the patient's problem and correctly treat that problem. And if there's also something that the patient has going on that's outside of our wheelhouse, we're also supposed to refer that patient back to get additional care. But that is definitely the right choice based upon what we have as far as research so far.
Time out real quick, because I know you got a lot of letters behind your name and everything, but was it what did he say? Perseverate?
Hold on, listen. No,
what in the world? Don't come out here trying to catch that lingo, man.
Hey, listen.
What does that mean? I never heard that word before. I thought he was talking about preserves. You know what I'm saying? Strawberry preserves or something. I don't know what he's talking about.
See, look, that's the difference. See, that's why you were services and he wouldn't know. But go ahead, Doc. What was that term again?
Perseverate.
Perseverate.
Causes them to
write that down in your book, Seth. We had that.
Man, shut up. Anyway, go ahead, Larry.
Dr. Taylor, appreciate you and your time, sir. I got a question for you. When it comes to members, I don't care if it's, military members or it's civilian members, what have you. A lot of times when we get referred to physical therapists, it's based upon the doctor. But what if me, knowing my body, knowing how I operate, the doctor's not seeing it, but I'm saying like, hey, I need some type of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, whatever it is, whatever type of therapy it is. What do you say to individuals that feel like they need to be pushing their doctors more and saying, hey, I think I need some physical therapy over here because this ain't working. The pills, the prescriptions and stuff, that's not me. I want to be physically, I want to be physically fit or physically formed to perform, as an individual versus the prescriptions.
So I think it's a really important thing for people to have a strong understanding of what the role is of medications. So in general, looking at inflammatory conditions where the body is producing an inflammatory response to some damage that's occurred, the medications that they give you essentially stunt the inflammatory process. Now, in some cases, that's really, really good because that'll allow the patient to move on to the next level of recovery. But at other times, it kind of stunts the recovery phase or the healing process. Also, understand that pain medications or muscle relaxants So pain medications are just there to reduce the amount of pain that you're going through. That doesn't actually fix the problem. And then also muscle relaxers. Muscle relaxers are just central nervous system depressants. So they lower the body, the central nervous system's ability to perceive certain things. So in essence, what those medications are, they're a bridge to get a patient beyond the severely irritable phase to the point to where their bodies are recovering. So the medications don't actually help you heal. They just help you get over it, right? So if you're hoping that medications are going to take you all the way there, it's sort of the equivalent of bashing out your check engine light and hoping that everything's going to be okay in the case of Herm's truck.
It got to get a damn ram.
You know, it's a similar situation. You're going to side of the road if you keep relying upon those tools. So the other thing that I would say is in the military specifically, all active duty military members have direct access to their physical therapist. So they can literally walk into the hospital, go straight to the PT clinic and set up an appointment.
What?
So
wait, hold on.
Man, hold on.
Listen. Look, when I come down the stairs, my knees sounded like Rice Krispie treats. So you telling me this whole time I could have just walked up in there and say, hey, this ain't right?
I thought we had to get referred.
Yeah.
So if you are an active duty service member, you do not have to get referred.
Lord have mercy, man. I done retired.
They need to put that into a formulated email.
Bro,
No, by those rules where we at.
hey, they need to put that in basic. FTAC. You dig what I'm saying?
So if you're active duty, all you have to do is just call the clinic and you can set up an appointment. So and in terms of civilians, if you're a civilian, there are several states, you should check your state's bylaws, but there are several states that allow direct access to physical therapists as well, where you don't require a PCM to refer you to the physical therapist. Now, a lot of those states require that within a certain period of time, you notify the PCM and you go back to the PCM to relay that information so that they can make sure that everything is on the up and up and things are going well. However, there are a lot of states that allow patients to directly access physical therapy as well.
Dope. Yo, okay. Well, look, hey, thanks for that. Look, didn't even know that. Hey, see, listen, those of y'all, that's why we get the smart folks on the Lions Den. You know what I'm talking about? Because look, you're walking around thinking that you know everything, and your back hurting. You see what I'm saying?
Separate that.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, and your toes are percolating and don't know why. You know what I'm talking about. But look, got this question. All right, from Ms. Hemingway, she says, Doctor, please discuss the importance of prevention as well as getting and staying healthy in general. Can you do that?
Absolutely. So as we get a little bit older, it's a very common situation where people get to a certain age and then all of a sudden they feel like everything starts to fall apart. And that's when you've reached your what's called your functional threshold. As long as you're functioning above your functional threshold, usually your body is able to stay healthy and strong. However, as soon as you break down below that functional threshold, that's when problems start to kick up and arise. And it seems like you keep stumbling problem over problem over problem. Your shoulder hurts, and then all of a sudden your elbow hurts, and all of a sudden your neck hurts, and then your back hurts, and then your knees start hurting and it feels like you're quote unquote falling apart. But that's the importance of prevention in regards to that. As long as you're staying healthy, as long as you're eating the proper foods and the right ratios and you're working out and you're keeping your heart in shape by doing cardiovascular work, when you do all those things, you can stay very, very healthy for a very long period of time. So we actually have people that are over 100 years old that can actually finish a marathon. So there's really no excuse when it comes to overall fitness into senescence or when you're getting a little bit older. So it's really, really important that you keep it a daily ritual for yourself to get some sort of physical activity in. And it's also becoming very, very difficult in America nowadays to get proper nutrition. So it seems like there's a Popeyes or a Burger King or
everywhere.
And people are getting busier and busier, especially when you have kids or you're having to take on a second job and you're doing all these different things. It becomes very, very difficult to keep an eye on your nutrition. So that is probably one of the biggest things that's plaguing America today is their nutritional intake. Because if the grocery store has a health food aisle, then what are all the other aisles?
Wow. See,
And where do they place those items on those shelves on what you see first and associated price tags?
So yes, that's a very, very important thing, especially with inflation nowadays. A bag of grapes is like $7 or $8.
right? Hey, yeah. Look, y'all remember back in the day, you used to talk about, look, I don't want to get nothing from Hawaii because a loaf of bread is like $5. What you think it is at Walmart right now? You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
It's bad. And probably the other thing about nutrition that I would really want to hit on is just look at the ingredients list on the side of the box, whatever it is that you're buying. If it looks like a chemistry test, you kind of have to ask yourself, do those chemicals belong in your system? Because a lot of those chemicals are preservatives. And if preservatives are designed to extend the shelf life of food, what do you think that it does when it enters your body?
Stay there. Ew, that's so nasty. Well, listen, hold on, brother. Damn it. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, look, while I'm sitting here sipping this watered down iced tea, if you will, I'm over here get it in. Hey, but listen, if y'all haven't done so already, please share this information, y'all. This is super, super dope. All right. And our health, our mental health, and everything matters. But you have to take care of you. You feel me? But look, doctor, I do got a question. All right. And this goes in line with the common myths. So your physical therapy will tell you to stop doing what you love to do. Do you think that that's a reason why individuals hate going to physical therapists?
So I think that we all have this inner view of ourselves where we function on a particular level. I know Herm still feels like he's in high school and he can still, play ball.
And he can't. Lord have mercy.
He
go ahead.
He can still play ball, but we all have this inner view of what we think that our body should be able to do. And then when somebody comes along and tells you, at least for a temporary period of time, you have to back off of those things. Even positive things can become addicting, right? So, going to the gym is a very positive thing for you, but for a lot of people, it's very addictive. The endorphin rush that you get after you work out really, really hard, and the sense of pride that you have in being able to maintain a good physical fitness level. Those things are very, very near and dear to people's hearts. And when you tell them that they have to back off of those things for a little while, it hurts them in more ways than physical, right? So they have a lot of emotional attachment to those things. But physical therapists, by no stretch of the imagination, want to take things away from patients. They just want to be able to get patients back to being able to do what they want to do. So I might have to temporarily take the gym away from you and have you work out with some resistance bands, Herm. As opposed to doing those shoulder presses in order to bridge the gap to get you back to doing what you need to do. Because if you start working out too early in the presence of pain or in the presence of dysfunction, what that's going to do is that's going to build your pyramid upside down and it's going to be toppling over. So you have to build the pyramid with the proper base. So when you get injured and you have issues going on, we have to fix those issues first. Then we can get you back to the gym. Now, in some very rare cases, if something happens, like if you get into a car accident or, you get some internal derangement or what we call damage into the joint itself, and it's not recommended for you to do impact-related activities anymore, that would be one of the rare instances where a physical therapist, as well as all the other medical providers, will tell you it's probably not a good idea that you continue with your marathons on concrete if you've got this damage going on in your knees. Maybe a better idea for you to adjust course and take on a different hobby that can still give you the same kind of benefits, but just doesn't apply the impact. So some rare cases, that's the case.
Wow. Okay. Woo, man. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, this is a lot of great information. Yo, big shit, I was getting ready to say her. No, hey. Hey, Will.
Again, Seth?
Yeah, man, go ahead. Say what?
I said, what you over there drinking again, bro?
None, just with no ice. But anyway, go ahead, brother. Go ahead. What you got before I break?
Pretty much, doctor, I want you to be able to touch on the importance of your gut health. I was looking at something this morning, and it talks about preservatives and what that does to your stomach's ability to break food down and what that does to your body holistically. So if you can kind of talk about that balance of staying away from preservative, but also the benefit to your gut health.
So gut health is a very, very intriguing field that we've been delving into lately within the scientific community. We've actually found out that there are bacteria in your gut that can actually send signals to your brain. So, for example, when you get late night cravings for sugar, those late night cravings can actually be triggered not by your own brain, but actually by the bacteria within your gut. So you start taking about, you start talking about the hijack, right? That can happen. The bacteria that's actually in your gut can actually send signals to your brain. So it's kind of like the second brain. They call the gut the second brain. So
see, I'm glad you said that, because see, when I wake up and I want to get a damn cookie, see, I really don't want to get the damn cookie. You see, something say get the cookie, and it ain't me. I'm glad you said
big
that.
second brain too, man. So
You say what?
I got a big second brain too. I'll be out there. Mine wants steak in the middle of the night. You know,
bro.
what I mean?
Hey, what you say? Steak and oxtail.
Yeah. Middle of the night. So go ahead, Doc.
So yeah, it's very, very important, and it's all based upon what you feed the bacteria. So, you know, if you are consistently, you know, in your regular regimen or schedule eating candy on a regular basis, what that's doing is that's feeding the bacteria in your gut that grows from the sugar, the processed sugar. So then that bacteria technically gets stronger, right? And you start to get an imbalance. But when you don't eat those foods with processed sugar in them, then those bacteria begin to diminish in population. So they get smaller. So, you know, in terms of where you're at, sometimes what it takes is it takes a purge. Like your body has to go through a purge in order to regulate the bacteria that's in your gut. So the same thing is said with meat, right? So there's certain bacteria in your gut that's designed to break down meat. But to the people that eat meat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you know, that particular amount of bacteria within your gut will begin to grow. And if that bacteria is designed to break down meat, what do you think you're made out of?
Ooh, hold on.
Message.
Damn.
You know,
Ooh.
it's all about balance. You know, I'm not saying that people should swear off meat and that nobody should eat meat ever. I'm not saying that, but everything in moderation. Right.
Wow, Doc. Hold on, man. You know what? I don't think. Listen, we done took a whole nother turn. You dig? But I do appreciate it. So it's giving me some things to think about, ladies and gentlemen. If this too is giving you something to think about, please make sure you comment and everything. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Dr. Taylor, getting it in. We're talking about being physically ready. Don't go anywhere now. If you check out the chat, I put a link there. If you got some time, give us a review. Let us know what you think. If the show is moving the way you like it to move, and if we're hitting the good points, please let us know. We would not be here if it wasn't for you. We will be right back.
Monique Slater is a top negotiating, award-winning real estate agent in San Antonio, Texas. Her focus is on educating and empowering individuals on building general wealth through homeownership while providing exponential service with integrity and excellence. Although her heart is for serving first-time homeowners and the military community, her clientele ranges from $100,000 to $2.5 million. Monique has developed an awesome team that can get anyone into a home and has sold homes in less than 6 hours. After servicing the Air Force for over 28 years, retired Chief Slater has a massive network, so she can connect you with an awesome agent anywhere in the U.S. And if you're in San Antonio or relocating there, give Monique a call first to help you find your dream home. Give Monique a call at 210-237-7268.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Seth with the Lion's Den. Are you or someone you know looking for a tool to help them be more accountable? Check out the Black Collar Mindset, the Art of Strategic Thinking. It's a manual to help maneuver through life strategically by holding yourself accountable every step of the way. Go to theblackcollarmindset.com to grab your copy today. Again, the website is theblackcollarmindset.com. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. Let's get it together. One thing we can cherish during these times is family dinners. Think about it, the nice, succulent southern fried chicken, baked beans cooked to perfection, creamy macaroni and cheese, cornbread. You get the point. Come check out Kevlar's Grill, where all the meals are cooked with perfection, professionalism, and love. Located outside the Scott Air Force Base back gate inside the VFW is where you can find them. Also, they have military discount for all of our serving members. Give them a call. Their number is 618-416-5700, and that's inside Scott VFW, post 4183. And they also have Grubhub. Call them now and tell them that the Lions Den sent you. Yo, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Lions Den, fellas. Yo, what y'all think about this show so far, bro?
So far, informal, as always. Hitting you with them gems that we don't really think about and consider.
Yeah.
You know, what was interesting to me is that I never knew in 21 years, made it to senior NCO ranks and everything, that I can just really walk down to the physical therapist and make my own appointment.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty wild right there.
Yeah. Well, what you think, bro?
I think it's important to touch on the things that we don't get a chance to see. We see so much misinformation across social media. To get it from an expert should hit home a little bit closer, because you got somebody telling you from experience and not from hearsay. Mm-hmm. So I think it's value added for us to have these types of conversations, especially about the gut and how important it is and how it plays a part in your health.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we back with Dr. Taylor up in the building, y'all. Hey, listen, y'all, check it out. Hey, y'all, he's here to help us make sure we go into the new year a little bit better. And so, you know, if you got your check engine light on, you know what I'm talking about, it, and your knees ain't right, look, go get them checked on now, right? Get them situated. Hey, Big Larry, what you got, man?
Yes, sir. My question, Dr. Taylor, for you is, we're talking about technology now, and I want to know what advancements in technologies has helped your profession as far as being able to quickly analyze and maybe redesign, you know, the physical therapy world to help, you know, individuals recover more quickly than the old age adages of doing things.
So within the field of physical therapy and human performance overall, that's where a lot of the advancements in technology have been made. So, you know, when you look at things like blood flow restriction devices, where we put a device on your limb and it restricts the amount of blood that can go to that limb, you can actually get a really solid workout with very little resistance. So what we've been trying to utilize that for specifically is for things like our special operations members. Our special operators have a very, very heavy rotation of training that they have to do when they're not deployed. So they're always moving about the country, getting training in different areas of the country, as well as internationally. So they don't always have access to a gym consistently. So what a blood flow restriction device would do is it would allow those members to work out essentially in their hotel rooms with bands and still get almost the same type of returns that they would get in the gym. So that's one particular example of how technology has pushed us forward. But now we also have further advancements with different monitoring devices like Jupes or even the Apple Watch. You know, it can measure your heart rate. It can measure your pulse oximetry, or how much oxygen is flowing through your veins at any given time. It can look at how many calories you're burning, how far you're running. So, you know, now technology in the form of wearables, like wearable technology, is allowing us to monitor our folks. We can even monitor stress levels, and we can see whether or not you're getting enough sleep. And we can track your nutrition a little bit better. So all of these different things are tools that we can add to our tool belt to help us, monitor exactly what your situation is so that we can help you as best as we can. But I don't want to allow that to take away from what should be the focus, which is the skill set of the provider. The provider should have tools within their own tool belt to be able to treat patients with more efficiency. So all too often we have providers that graduate with their degree and then they stop. And then they just continue to go to a continuing education course here and there. And, they might read a journal here and there, but that's about it. There's a reason why we call it practice, because it's a continual process. We should never get comfortable. We should always be pushing and striving to learn more to be able to treat our patients more effectively. So, my charge to all the providers out there are just keep learning.
You know what, doctor? I'm glad you said that, because real talk, low key, it seemed like some of those my doctors were practicing on me. You feel me? And just not doing it right. But you said something I want to tie into, and this is from one of our viewers. He or she says, how are you influencing others to take more holistic approach to health versus treating symptoms?
So I feel like that's a very, very important thing. And when people get stovepiped into treating specifically what their specialty is, it can become detrimental to the patient overall. When you're an orthopod or an orthopedist and all you're focused on are the orthopedic issues with that patient, or if you're a podiatrist, or if you're a cardiothoracic surgeon or a neurosurgeon, or whatever the case may be, if we are solely focused on how we've been trained to treat patients, then that can serve as a detriment of the patient. So the same thing can be said of any profession, right? Like if you ask an electrician how they can help you, they're going to tell you what they can fix. If you ask a plumber how they can help you, they're going to tell you what they can fix, right? But to have at least the awareness of other issues that could be affecting the patient's symptomology, and being able to refer patients to those particular specialists that can deal with those issues, that is a very, very key thing to have in your back pocket that can really help patients. So for me specifically, what I try to do is I try to talk to patients about everything. I try to talk to them about their nutrition. I try to talk to them about their overall activity level. I try to ask them questions that might delve into whether or not their endocrine or their hormonal systems are starting to affect their overall day-to-day. So, and the same thing with rheumatology. If they start to exhibit symptoms that are consistent with a rheumatologic condition, then I'll refer them to a rheumatologist as well. So
okay, hold on, wait, hold on. All right, so just because Herm probably missed the whole last sentence of that, right? Now, what's the specialty?
I'm a rheumatologist.
Hey, I just wanted to make sure you was tracking. That's all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what the rheumatology do. What do they do?
So, a rheumatologist is going to deal with things like rheumatoid arthritis or different conditions that are specific to the field of rheumatology. So, most of us don't really have those particular issues, but every once in a while you will see a patient that starts to exhibit some symptoms that are consistent with a rheumatologic condition. But again, that's probably the biggest thing that I wanted to touch on in regards to the differences between an active duty physical therapist and a civilian physical therapist. An active duty physical therapist can actually refer patients to specialists. An active duty physical therapist can prescribe certain medications. And an active duty physical therapist can also order imaging. So we can order CAT scans, MRIs, so on and so forth. So civilian physical therapists cannot do those things. And, military physical therapists have been able to do those particular things for decades, all the way back to the 60s and 70s. We've been doing those things. It's just the civilian sector has been a little slow to expand the role of a physical therapist.
Wow. Imagine that. Go ahead, Big Herm.
So you kind of got right into my next question. But first and foremost, no, hear you talk about this subject and everything. It's like no question that's come at you so far you haven't had an answer for. It's like you were made to be this person. You know what I mean? Made to be a physical therapist, and you just really found what you was born to do. So my question to you is, I should have asked you this first. What made you pick physical therapy when you decided to go to college? What made you pick this career field? And then also you talked a little bit about, the difference between civilians and military, but you did start off as a civilian physical PT at first. Tell me a little bit more in-depth differences that you've seen as far as civilian PTs and military PTs.
So in the beginning, I actually chose to be a physical therapist in high school. So it was before I even got to college.
Wow.
It's like all the Korean black dudes did that, though.
Say what?
All the Korean black dudes in my city did that. Dwayne, TJ, Tony Johnson.
And what happened to you?
Tony Johnson? No, he didn't go PT.
Like, what you do?
I'm thugging and bugging, man.
Man, shut up. Anyway, go ahead, Doc.
Go ahead, man.
Thugging and bugging in the kitchen.
So, way back in the day, I was an athlete. Even though I was smaller, I was on the track team. I was on the cross country team. Whenever one of my teammates got injured, I would always be intrigued as to how we could get them back, because I had a strong sense of family and teamwork. So, that's what got me into it initially. And there was a physical therapist that would be at a couple of the sporting events, and I would just kind of tag along and try to figure out exactly what he was doing, because it seemed like it was right up my alley. So that sense of family, that sense of trying to help people out and make sure that people were getting back to doing all the things that they were doing, that was something that I took a lot of pride in. So from a very, very early stage, I knew that this was what I wanted to do. So I specifically chose the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga as the university that I went to, because they had a very strong physical therapy program. So that's the only place that I put in, a letter to try to go to that particular university. So I was very, very focused from a very early age.
Wow. Well, there you go. Hey, Big Will, what you got, bro?
A lot of appreciation for Dr. Taylor, brother. Definitely commend you on what you're doing, not just for yourself, but the perception that you're putting out there for other people to follow suit and not think that you can't get to this particular field. So kudos to you, brother. A couple things I want you to engage on. One is speaking about high fructose syrups and sugars and how that contributes to some of those cravings that you discussed earlier. And the other part of that is how some military members don't come to you because the high fear of MEBs, and that's why they keep taking this damn Motrin these doctors keep giving us, while we don't come see y'all all the time. So let me get your take on that.
So absolutely. In regards to the sugar question, so the pancreas was designed to only deal with so much sugar on a regular basis, right? So depending upon the study you look at, the amount of sugar that your body can deal with, or your pancreas can deal with on a daily basis, is about 21 grams of sugar. So if you exceed that amount, then your body doesn't know what to do with it. So your body starts to store it in different places in your body to try to figure out what to do with it. Now, if you think about it, 21 grams of sugar is not a lot. You will exceed 21 grams of sugar if you just eat a bag of Skittles, right? And that's just the Skittles. That's not talking about where else you're getting sugar from throughout the rest of the day. Right. So if you're a late night snacker and you like Twix and you like Twinkies and Ho-Hos and, all these other different things, you're going to run into a problem where your pancreas does not know what to do with the rest of the sugar that you're putting in your body. So over time, what you'll start to get is a buildup of excess fat or adipose tissue throughout your system. And then that leads to all sorts of other things. And again, the health of the pancreas is directly related to how you treat it. If you continue to abuse it and indulge in excess, then eventually the efficiency of your pancreas is going to start to deteriorate. So, being very, very aware of what your limits are, what the limits of the human body are, and, adjusting your intake accordingly is a very, very important thing. Now, what was that second question? I'm sorry.
He was talking about the Motrins.
Pretty much why military members don't come to the doctor because of that MEB fear on what can possibly happen. Why they keep taking all this damn Motrin instead?
And don't forget, a lot of that Motrin is prescribed to us too. You get what I'm saying? So, right. But go ahead, Doc.
So the other thing, it depends on what their job is, right? So there are some people that really don't mind coming to the physical therapist and trying to figure things out, especially with this younger generation. This younger generation is all about the why. So they want to know why they're doing whatever they're doing. They want to know why they're feeling what they're feeling. And that's very, very important to them. So there are generational differences. But the generation that you guys come from, or that I come from, especially within certain career fields, were very hesitant to come to the doctor. Because they didn't want to get MEB'd, or they didn't want to get taken off status. Being on status is another really important thing as well, because if you're on jump status, flight status, dive pay, like all these things actually pay you extra on a monthly basis to be up on status. And if you come to a physical therapist, or you come to another medical healthcare provider, and they give you a particular diagnosis, that can temporarily take you off status and actually take money out of your pocket. So that's also another incentivized reason as to why certain individuals within the military don't access their healthcare, which is a bad thing, So, there's a reason why pilots have a certain stigma about going to the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a really important thing. So we need to try to remove these incentives for people to not access good healthcare.
Damn. Yo, okay. Look, I didn't even think about that.
Right.
Didn't even think about that. It makes sense though, because if you're influencing my lack of money, you get what I'm saying, or something that can impede in that, I might be, more reluctant to go and get seen. Well, look, just to switch a little bit, before we came live, you said something about your wife. She's in the fitness too, which is super dope. So explain to us and the rest of our audience and rest of the family, how important is it to have that support system, especially while dealing and working around health?
So I think that's a vital thing. I don't think any successful man is going to sit there and say that their family didn't have everything to do with their overall success. My wife, Ebony Nicole Taylor, she is everything for me. She supports me in the way that I need to be supported. She takes a primary role in raising our children. And, we have particular values that we try to attribute to our family. And physical fitness is one of the primary things that we try to push because we feel like it affects so many different things, including how you're able to deal with stress and, different trials and tribulations. To be able to have an outlet of physical fitness, something that's very, very vital. So, I will specifically set aside time where, I cover the household so she can go work out and vice versa. So, it's a great thing to have somebody that's so supportive.
Yo, that's dope. Oh, listen, I'm gonna give you a special. Damn right. That's what I'm talking about. All y'all back in there, they ain't getting it together. You better help a brother out. I'm talking about trying to get it together. Yeah, shots fired, damn it. Hey, go ahead, big Larry. What you got, man? What's your final question?
Hey, my final question for you, Dr. Taylor, is I'm big into stories, wild stories, right? So in your profession, I want to know a case or cases that stuck out to you where you've seen a major transformation of an individual, or you seen something where you was very slim hope, and then miraculously this individual just did a whole 180 on you. Do you mind sharing a story or a case that you've seen over your profession that motivates you to continue to let you know that this is the right profession for me?
So try to figure out how to say this without bragging. If you're good at what you do, you see those all the time.
Oh,
You know what?
Bomb for that.
That's right. Hey, that's the thing. That ain't bragging. It's being real, bro. Hey, sometimes you got to flex just a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? You got all the letters for a reason. But go ahead.
One for the light skin, baby.
Man, shut up.
But in essence, you know, when you train as much as I have, and you've reached kind of the pinnacle of training, people give you the trouble cases. They give you the broken toys. So, you know, it's typically my job to get those people that have a lot of issues going on, and to kind of fix the Rubik's Cube and get them back on to whatever they were doing. So, but there are a couple of cases that kind of come out that stick out to me that, you know, are really kind of key examples for me. And I'll try to say this, you know, obviously not divulging any HIPAA information, but, you know, probably one of the ones that sticks out to me the most is a special operator that I was able to treat, or had the privilege of treating. You know, he suffered a GSW, or a gunshot wound, while he was deployed, you know, protecting our country. So, you know, he took a round to the shoulder, and it bounced around inside of his body cavity. It punctured one of his lungs, and, you know, it damaged a lot of muscles, and he was able to recover from that. You know, when he came to see me, he still had some issues. He was still functional. He was still doing pretty well, but he had a couple of limitations, and we were able to kind of optimize the situation and get him back to doing the things that he loved to do. So, you know, he's back to doing combatives, and, you know, he's back to representing the way that he would like to. So, you know, that's one of the examples that I'm proud of.
That's dope, man. That's super dope. That's dope. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, well, look, I got a brother down here that says something. I'm sure you know him. Okay. You did what I'm saying. So, hey, look, like work. All right. Hey, Big Will, what you got, man? Your final word question.
Final word, Doc. You mentioned you guys have kids. So we can't dictate what our kids, our teenagers, what they eat at school. What can we do as parents to kind of guide them towards the healthier side of living? Because when they're not with us, we don't dictate so much what they eat. So what type of tactics can we utilize to kind of influence them to live a better lifestyle and the benefits of such?
So it all starts at home, right? I get it. I understand people are busy. They have a lot of things going on. Sometimes it can be very difficult to find time to prepare the food for the children. However, they don't listen to what we say. They listen to what we do. So when you take the opportunity, every opportunity, to avoid the fast food aisle, or, you know, lane, and taking them to go Burger King or McDonald's or Whataburger or whatever it is, and you're taking the time to take them home and giving them a home cooked meal and making sure that the ingredients that are in those foods are good for them, they'll learn to expect those things, so that when they aren't around you, they're not just going to run and go eat everything. They're going to go to what feels comfortable for them. So, you know, when you remove the excuses, right, and they're not around you, but you can still prepare their meals for lunch, right? So if they're going to school, prepare their meal, if that's important to you, and that's important to the child, because you're right. Public school and even private schools, they don't have adequate nutrition within the school system. So they're feeding them any old thing. And me and Herm are perfect examples of, you know, going to school and eating those rectangular pizzas, and, you know, but you know, it's what we had. So can you get by with it? Yeah, you can, because you're young, you're healthy. Your body's just going to deal with whatever you give it, and you're still going to be relatively healthy. However, you know, a giant oak starts from a small seed. So the habits that you have as an adult start when you're in your school years.
Very true. Very true. You know what? You said something that was very key about the schools not necessarily providing the right food, to our youth, and low key, not even the right information, period, on a lot of things. Anyway, Big Herm, what you got, bro?
Man, so if I add vegetables to my meat lovers pizza,
okay, stop it.
Would that work?
No, just stop.
A little bit of mushroom.
No, look, stop. Look, hey, I wish we could rewind this. Try it again.
I'm trying to find a way, you know what I mean?
Listen,
and save time at the same. Put vegetables on it.
So hey, listen. Just because you're eating healthy doesn't mean that the food that you're eating
is healthy, right?
It doesn't have to be quote unquote health food, as long as you're balancing your macros. So your fats, your carbs, your proteins.
Boom.
If you're balancing those things out and you're getting the right ratios of those, then you can eat things like pizza and be just fine. You don't have to eat like a health nut. You just have to eat healthy things, right? So, stay away from the foods that have all the chemistry set, labels on the side of it. As long as you do that, or moderate or limit it as much as possible, and you try to get a healthy balance of those three things. The fats, carbs, and proteins, you should be fine.
See, hit the bell for that one, Seth. But anyway,
no.
But what I want to say, man, for my last word is I want to appreciate you for coming on and doing this show with us. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of information that people probably never. First of all, they never knew, and probably never even really thought about. You really dropped some knowledge for these folks online today. So tonight. And I appreciate you coming on, man. Thanks a lot.
No problem. I'm glad to do it.
Yes. Hey, so look, doctor, one more thing. We want to give you the floor, man. You got 2 minutes to give your whatever you want people to know about you, any takeaways or anything.
So the main takeaway that I have is, if you're comfortable, you should be afraid.
Boom.
Whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. What the hell? Where'd that come from? Now say that again.
So if you're comfortable, you should be afraid, because if you're comfortable, you're probably not growing. So the thing that I would say is, continue to grow, continue to strive for more, continue to learn on a continuous basis. If you're not learning something new each and every day, you're probably remaining stagnant. I've had the privilege of having some very, very important people in my life that have pushed me to get to where I am today. And shout out to Dr. Kelvin Wilson. He's been my best friend since middle school. He's really pushed me to grow. He's currently a neurosurgeon operating out of Florida. So, I've got some good people alongside me to help push me. So, if you don't have somebody in your circle that's pushing you to do more, to be more, you probably need to start adding people to your inner circle.
Ooh, hey, and listen, some of you might need to get rid of. Yo, my goodness. Man. Yo, Doc, man, you know what? I do appreciate you. And on behalf of the Lions Den and the rest of the family, we do appreciate you coming in. And what I really do like is the fact that we talked about health outside back to in until ultimately back to our mindset, and that's very, very, very important. So thank you for taking the time with us and being on. And ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank y'all for joining us for another Lions Den. Catch us next week. We're gonna have a nice year finale, and we're gonna have a nice time. We're gonna have a nice time. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe so you can see this anytime. And then make sure you go to Roku or Amazon Fire so you can watch all of the crazy stuff we do. And I mean, it is crazy. And guess what? It's going to get even crazier, right on? That's what we do. We appreciate y'all. Y'all keep it easy. Take it greasy. Later.